Oh, hi there! Let's have a look at our next plugin, SweejTech Ambience. This is a plugin focusing on the ambient part of sound design, and our goal is to make a very smooth workflow without too much fuss when setting up ambiences. We also want a lot of extensibility, because we know people have different requests when it comes to a system like this. So yeah, let's just get to it. Down here you can see two different widgets. The scatter spot inspector was briefly shown in the teaser we released last week, and today we're going to have a look at the ambience inspector. We're not currently in any area, so we're just hearing a global sound. And this actor type is called an ambience sound. And it is just that, it's a sound. Without any modifications, it will just play a sound following the system's rules. And this is an actor you can control using blueprints or code to set up your own custom behaviors. But we'll be focusing on our ambience volumes in this video. So for those volumes, we are using Unreal's brush component, which gives you full access to the brush editing workflow that Unreal has. And if I select this one called Ambience Forest, you see the outlines of a volume, and when I select it in the Ambience Inspector we get a rendered debug view in the world. And if you pay attention as I approach this volume, you can hear it fading in. At this point here we have about 50-50 weight between global and forest, and since the forest ambience has a higher priority than the global, the weight of the forest subtracts from the global, and that's creating a crossfade as we enter the volume. And for the final sound level we apply an equal power crossfade to maintain even levels. Yeah, and this crossfade over distance behavior is one of the reasons why we wanted to create an ambience plugin in the first place. We want to crossfade over distance, not over time. And when I fully enter the forest, you can see the global and any lower priority ambiences will have faded out and the scatter spots have come to life. And it's also worth mentioning here that all of this audio is rendered in the viewport, so you don't have to run your game to hear the results. If we look in the details panel, we have a bunch of settings. Attenuation distance specifies how far away the volume starts fading in. The priority determines how different ambience volumes interact when they overlap. Higher priority sounds will override lower ones, which is really useful for layering different environments. You can make an exception to this statement using max weight, where you can allow lower priority sounds to still be audible. When the level of the sound reaches the scatter spots threshold, we start scattering spot sounds around the listener. Those are defined in a separate asset. And finally we have ambience definitions as a way of reusing content setups. So for example, in all forests I have set all the fields here to just be forest assets and enums, but I also have a way to override this for any volume. So for example, if I want this forest volume to have the previous iteration of the forest quad, I can just override the sound, while still inheriting the other settings from our ambience definition. Our ambience system is optimized to be used for big levels. All ticks are handled in a subsystem and all sound instances are shared to avoid redundant playback. And yeah, that sums up a first look at our ambience plugin. We'll be covering scatter spots in our next video, and then we'll tell you more about area types and how we're handling reverb. So feel free to comment here or join our Discord for a more in-depth conversation. Okay, thanks, bye!